We are starting off with Trader Talk coming from Michelle Schneider, the Director of Trading and Education at Market Gauge Group. Good to see you there, Mish. We are devoting our entire program to popular trader sayings. One of the sayings is, don't fight the Fed.
Well, that is one of the greatest cliches of the market and basically has been very true for decades. As we know, over the last 4 decades, don't fight the Fed meant that as they were being more accommodative and as more money was pouring into the system, and especially when we had a huge round of quantitative easing, starting with the mortgage crisis in 2008, and then the COVID crisis, and then, of course, more recently, the bank crisis, where the Fed added liquidity again, we can see that that has been extremely positive for the market. But then in 2022, everything changed, right? As the Fed was caught behind the curve in terms of inflation and had that blinding fast rate of interest rate hikes.
Just to break it down a bit more, traders tend to adjust their strategies based on Fed rate decisions. When the Fed raises rates, it's a sign the economy is strong and needs to cool off, versus lowering rates, a sign the economy needs some help or is looking weak-ish, or a pause, which can mean the Fed has done enough or needs to wait and see. What do you think about the situation now?
They have risen the rates to a point now. The Fed funds rate and the CPI numbers are kind of the same, which is why there's a lot of conversation about pause. And most likely, if it continues to be more of a pause, let's keep the status quo at around 5.25%, let's say, then that would mean, in terms of don't fight the Fed, it would mean probably the market will take that as a very good sigh of relief, until such time that inflation may or may not come back. I'm still in the camp that it could, in which case, of course, the Fed might be forced once again to become a little bit more aggressive in terms of raising. And that's the story, not just here, but central banks everywhere. It's what we're hearing from Lagarde in the ECB. It's what Canada's been doing. It's been don't fight the Fed once they get the green light to have some kind of monetary policy in reaction as opposed to proactively. And that's kind of made it easy for us to not fight the Fed. We can anticipate what they're going to do, what they're not going to do, and then once they do, act accordingly.
Thank you, Mish.
Thanks so much, and bye for now.